YouTuber merch, all right? At this point, if you're a content creator, if you're not selling merch, bro, you're losing out, because when the views drop, what's gonna bring in that income? The merch. Now, merch, yeah, it's just an extra form of income for YouTubers. I mean, me personally, I have nothing against people selling merch at all. Bro, if it gets to the point where you're selling a goddamn water bottle for 50 bucks or a plushie for 50 bucks, yeah, you gotta be on some up timing if you think your kid audience has $100 to blow. They're gonna have to get on that, hello mother, can I have your credit card timing. That's the timing they're about to be on. And a birdie plush is on the way. You know, I'm getting that merch going, but I'm not selling that shit for 50 bucks. It would be different if it was one of those big ass ones that cost a lot to manufacture. But this dude dropped a regular size plushie for 50 bucks. That is insane. When it arrives at my front door, because yeah, I definitely bought one, guys, it best be made of gold, all right? Because ain't no way that shit worth 50 bucks. It is a white stick figure with a smiley face. How is that worth 50 bucks? I don't know. But hey, if there's a market for it, I guess get to the bag. I don't know. But obviously, people are gonna give you flack if your merch is like super expensive like that. Like if you could just basically wipe your ass with money after getting a bunch of merch sale. All right, let's be generous. I think that thing had to be like, I don't know, 10 to 15 bucks to manufacture. I mean, me personally, if I was a kid, I don't think I want to buy a plushie from a dude that's taking pictures with Snapchat filters. No, thank you. But to each their own, I guess. I mean, a lot of people just buy merch in general to support their favorite creators. Hey man, hey, I got this drippy ass t-shirt, bro. Caution, wet moms, bro. That's right, they gonna be all over me once they see this t-shirt. YouTuber merch is generally more expensive. Well, because the people that host the website have to make their cut of the profit too. It's tough out in the streets, bro. It's unfortunate. But now, I think in today's video, it's important to distinguish what makes good merch and what makes the merch really ass. And one of the things that makes the merch good or ass is the price. Like if Dream's selling a green hoodie that's like hella expensive, obviously everyone's gonna think that shit's ass. But if it's at a reasonable price, people will buy it. You gotta find the middle ground where you make enough profit off each shirt. And when you put your merch out there, it's gotta be in high quality material so everybody knows that it's worth. Like if people say, yeah man, your merch is quality, and they vouch for you, then that's more sales for you. Look at that. I think it's important to create a good product that's worth the price and doesn't have an expensive ass tax or shipping fee. Like Dream's plushie, it added up to $100 for somebody. Not even kidding. Like I don't think anybody would pay $100 to get this shipped to their house. Like I don't think it's worth the price. You could easily find something similar at Target for $10. And now the next thing that determines whether or not merch is good is the design. Is the design something unique, something cool, and something that kind of relates to your channel? Or is it literally just a copy and paste of your YouTube logo and your name on a shirt? Like bro, if I sold a shirt that said Birdie and it had my logo on it, yeah, I don't think anybody would buy that shit. If I were to make like shirts and sweatshirts and shit like that in the future, I think I'd have to be more creative with it. You gotta think about this. Would it compete with other clothing brands? Doesn't necessarily have to be the top dog, of course, but it has to feel like a clothing brand. It can't just feel like YouTuber merch or else no one's really even gonna wear it. And Roman Atwood had a shirt that said like Smile More. I just remember seeing a bunch of people wearing that because it felt more like a clothing brand and it wasn't just his name pasted on a shirt. And the design was really simple, but people still bought it. You don't need anything crazy, just something that kind of feels like a clothing brand. And now a lot of people get really annoyed, right? When people say, buy my merch 24/7, right? Another important thing to remember is that you should not merch plug 24/7 because yeah, it will get really annoying and then that's just gonna make them not want to buy your merch even more. If I told you to subscribe every minute of this video, yeah, you definitely would not subscribe, would you? Yeah, probably not. And yeah, I don't blame you because shit, it is really fucking annoying. A lot of people kind of fail to put themselves in the perspective of the consumer when they're selling merch. Like you gotta think about it this way. Would you buy your own merch? Would you wear it? Would you rep that shit? You gotta rep that shit loud and proud, big dog. You can't be walking around like just hunched back and just really sad looking at the ground. Nah, bro, you gotta rep that shit loud and proud, shoulders up, ready to conquer the world with your merch. They should feel like they got some W drip on if they're wearing your merch. And some people sell their merch in bundles, whether it's just with other YouTubers or they just sell it basically just bundles in their shop. And the entire point of bundles is to knock a little bit off the price because shit, they're buying 3 products. But the grand total for somebody buying 3 plushies, one for Sapnap, George, and Dream, was $200. $146. Holy fuck. Like, bro, I could get a pair of Yeezy Crocs for that amount of money. Or I have the choice of getting 3 plushies from Minecraft YouTubers. And obviously, I'm picking the Yeezy Crocs, bro. Like, no questions about it. And if your fans don't even like the merch, yeah, just stop selling it. Like, there's no point. If you plug it at every single fucking nanosecond of your video and your fans don't like it, they're probably gonna unsubscribe and get really annoyed. Now, I don't know what it is with Dream, right? But there's just something about him. Like, every time something happens or, like, his fans call him out on something, or sometimes not even his fans, just, like, people that don't like him, they call him out on shit, and he gets all butthurt about it. And he always feels the need to prove that he's right. Bro, like, why do you care? Why are you beefing with a dude named Doodoo Fart on Twitter? Like, Dream, you are a multi-millionaire. Why do you care what people say on Twitter? But this man just felt the need to prove the fact that his audience was actually above the age of 13. Actually, majority of my audience is ages 18 to 24. And below his tweet, there was a nice little context thing, basically talking about, like, how children can make accounts with, like, higher ages, so you shouldn't rely on your YouTube analytics for age. But still, point still stands. He's always the type of dude to go on Twitter and just beef with people. Like, if you're a content creator, you should not have that attitude. I mean, it's the same thing when people say they don't like your content. If they don't like your merch, they don't like your merch. It is what it is. But a lot of people like to put a time frame on merch. They like to make it limited edition. They want people to buy it now, then yeah, I guess that's fair. But I don't feel like they should raise the price just because it's limited edition. Like, if it's the same quality, I feel like people won't even want to buy it if it's super high priced. And especially if your young fans don't have money, like, I don't even think they're going to even be able to buy that. And it's pretty self-explanatory. That's why everybody's on Dream's head for making his merch so expensive. Because, well, it's not like his audience has a lot of money. They're not exactly big ballin'. I mean, they can't even get a job. Like, me personally, I don't know any adults that are fans of Dream. So, I mean, the most they can really do is flip burgers or some shit. And I'm just saying, I don't think they want to spend the money on Dream merch. And if the merch is limited edition, unfortunately, in order to market it properly, you kind of have to, like, say, oh, it's limited edition, get it now. So obviously you have to do more to market it. And you gotta make sure your viewers can buy that shit and not get shoved into a locker when they walk into school. If I had merch and somebody bought it, I would feel fucking terrible if they got shoved into a locker for wearing it. I'd be like, damn, I must have did a dookie ass job with this merch then. If they get bullied for wearing your merch, it's wraps. They're never wearing it again. And they're never buying any other products from your store. If you want them to be a returning customer, you gotta make sure that the reception of the merch is good and they feel good and confident wearing it. And a start is, like I said earlier, if you won't even wear your own merch, then why even sell that shit? It's kind of like if you don't watch your own videos on YouTube, why the fuck are you even posting? It's kind of like that too. Another thing that YouTubers like to do a lot is they make a ripoff, basically, of another logo or something like that. And if you do that, yeah, you're definitely getting bullied. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you had a shirt that said Mike instead of Nike, yeah, your ass about to get flamed. Like, I don't think there's any saving for you, bro. Like, I think the whole school about to be on your head, bro. Because then it looks like you got some off-brand ass Nike shit on. But in summary, have some kind of design. Don't just paste your logo on there and put your name. Actually put effort into design. Don't just put a word on a shirt or some shit. And lastly, make sure it's a reasonable price. Goddamn. It's gotta be worth the money to the viewers.